previous video when I put these in. This is the electric door opener with a pop lock, and this one here is to bypass, or I should say in parallel, operate this window back here, just like the key switch on the outside. Behind here I have the wires, of course, and I use male and female crimp-ons. That way I could do kind of like a quick disconnect, but there's 5 of them, and of course they're not the greatest. It works, but I'm not really happy with it. So we're going to go ahead and pull this off and modify that today with a connector that looks more like something that came from the factory. We're going to be using these. You can see that it has 3 ribs here on the male portion, and at the same time this gives keeps the moisture out and all that. There's a male and female, and it's a 5-pin. That way there'll just be one connector, so when I pull that panel off I can basically just separate these instead of having 5 individual little male and female crimp-ons. This set here is pretty good. You can do 1, 2, 3, there's 4 here, this is 5, and even a 6, and it comes with everything you need. Now, I never worked with this before, so I'm going to go ahead and see how this comes out today, but by the time I'm done it should be nice. Pulling that panel off, just one connector, kind of like from the factory when you pull the door cards off, and behind there there's any type of connectors that are similar to this from Toyota's factory. I just wanted that for the back, and at the same time I can dress up those wires with some wire loom and all that and stuff. So time to pull that panel off yet again on the back of the FJ. So these are the instructions here I printed up, and it was right off of Amazon, and it's not really that clear, but basically for this end here, this is where the part with the pin will be sticking through. So when you look down in here you'll see the 5 pins. This one here is a female socket to accept the pins. That's the ones that will be pressed into this area here. And as I start to wire this thing and start to crimp it and everything else, I'll kind of show you guys what's going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the panel off of the back of the FJ and bring that in, set it down on one of the benches so that I can start changing out the wires. Alright, so one of the first things you have to do is you have to open up this window, because this hook will be preventing this panel from coming off. And again, you can use the key. I just happen to put these bypass switches in, and I just hold it, and of course that opens it up for me. So now that's open, and it's the 3 wires to here, 2 wires to here that I'm going to be changing out. Pop these little covers off here. Each one of them has a 10mm bolt. These little covers here, I'm just going to use a non-marring plastic tool to kind of pop these off, and then this whole thing will unsnap. Now, I'm not going to get into it because I've showed this on plenty of other videos, but that's basically all there is to it. 2 bolts, a couple covers, some snaps. Pull this off, and then I'll show you the wires behind it that I'm going to be cleaning up with an automotive style connector. Alright, so I basically like to use some plastic non-marring trim tool. You can get in here and you can pop these out easy enough. And then of course get under here and pop these off, and then that frees up where the bolt is. We'll take those out and then we'll unsnap this. But this one, the orange ones, blue ones, there's a bunch of them out there. It's just nicer than a screwdriver because you'll never have to worry about leaving marks and making a mess. So back when I put these switches in, I had drilled through this part a little hole that I could put a tie wrap on, so that when you pull on these it doesn't put any strain on the actual switches themselves. And that's kind of the way you want to look at this. You don't want any strain on these at all. Plus what I had done is I had used these are the male portion of the crimp-ons, and then the truck was the female portion. Again, that's hollow hole, and the actual conductor is down, and that's usually energized. So if you put this on the other side, then some of these could be live, and if you touch them together or something else, you're just going to be blowing fuses and causing a problem. So it's always good to have the male side of a connector on the side that has no power. So anyway, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this mess here, and it's going to be one connector, and of course, like I said, I'll probably put some wiring loom and all that stuff in there. And then on the truck side, there will be the other side that goes into this one. And see, this one here, well, this one has the pins. So yeah, this is the one I'll basically use. The other side will be the part that has the withdrawn pins, which will come in handy for any energized wire. So this one here will go on this side, and then of course the other part of the plug will be on the truck. So I just need to trim these back, get the pins on there, get them inserted. And like I said, I've never done this before, so unfortunately the first time you do something, it takes forever. Once you've done it, then you become a pro at it pretty quick. So that's what we have in store for today. Alright, so we have the pin all set. I have my instructions there. My first pin hardware right here. And what you want to do, guys, is just grab a piece of the wire that you're going to use and kind of experiment with that. Try to figure out exactly how it's going to go together before you start messing around with the real wires on the vehicle. Unless you're already familiar with it and you've done this before. I haven't, so I always like to have a little test piece first. So that's done. And anytime you have wires that repeat, it's not a bad idea to mark them. You can use paint. I just happen to have different colors of electrical tape, and the two wires that this goes into are both yellow. It doesn't matter which is which, it's just completing a circuit. And in case I take this off and this blue floats over here, I didn't want to get them mixed up. Alright, so like I said, the first one always takes the longest to try to figure out how you're going to do this. So the part that crimps on and holds this rubber in place just has to be enough to kind of just hold it in place. But you want a good crimp on the part that actually holds the wire in. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's basically what I came up with. And what I did is I started with some needle nose, because I don't have the right one. This is kind of a V-shaped crimp that they actually show in there. I guess it does it all at once. But I used a needle nose to start it, and then I just have some really heavy-duty crimps. These are actually crimps for cable and the little couplings and stuff, but it works really well. The different size holes for this here. And then, of course, you just want to go ahead and pull on this to make sure, hold the wire, give this a little bit of a yank, make sure it doesn't come off. And that's one down with 4 more to go. And then we can go ahead and assemble this portion of the actual connector. So I'll make a little drawing. That's what I'm going to do it. The 3 that are grouped together, the blue will be on the far, then black, red will be directly in the middle of the 5-point connector, and then of course these 2 blue that just complete a circuit with the yellow tape will be on the end. Not going to kid, this is really fussy, finicky. I can see why a lot of people don't do this. However, once you get the first couple done, it seems to go pretty good. The biggest thing is making sure you pull on it. I had one I thought was pretty tight. I gave it a little tug and it came right off. So then I had to go ahead and redo that one. So this is what they're like, and then we'll go ahead and insert them into the plug and see how that works out. And then that'll be the end of this side, and then we can get the other portion of the plug, the actual, I guess it's the male part that has the recessed connectors in it, will go on the FJ's door side. Another thing, just take your time. I'm going to be putting it in this way with this little locking tab right here facing up, and that's important because if you can actually put them in backwards when it comes to putting it together. And this is the portion that'll actually slide in there with the locking tab acceptor. You know, if you actually did it this way, it only fits in one way, and then you'd be out of luck. You'd have to try to remove these, which can be a pain to try to remove the pins. You have to get down there and somehow try to depress this little clip here. And most of the time, these connectors, they don't really like that. So just make sure you take your time. Give yourself a neat little diagram. I got the locking tab here and the colors. And that'll keep me straight as far as the way this goes together. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and try inserting these and see how that works. Alright, there's the first 2. So like we got blue, black, tab side up. You push them in through this side, take your time, make sure that the pin starts to come through the hole, and then gently reach in there with a pair of needle nose and actually give them a tug until you hear a click, and that'll be a positive lock for the pin so they don't go pushing out on you. Again, it's a little fussy, but once you get the hang of these things, it's not too bad. It's kind of like the cannon plugs on some of the aircraft I've been around, B-52s and stuff like that. So again, you want to listen for a positive click. So let's get the other 3 in. Just take your time with it. Get this all cleaned out here. I like to use dielectric grease, especially the first time you snap these together. Just helps to lubricate it, align the pins and get them to snap in. So this is how it's basically going to be. And then to get it out, that's all you basically do. So this side's done. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these little clips here. Put some wire loom on here, dress this up a bit, just so it looks more factory. Of course, one thing I will do is put one tie wrap up here, closer to here, so that they're not individually pulled. They all try to pull together and then get some wire loom and stuff on this portion here. Anything, once you've done one, kind of got it figured out, you can get on the roll, and it'll be pretty nice because with those little yellow gaskets that they have basically around the wires, that'll keep moisture and stuff out. Dielectric grease will keep any corrosion from setting up, and now it'll just be one plug to take off, and that'll take care of everything here. Again, strain relief here. Underneath all of this is another tie wrap in this area holding these together, and then the wire loom went on top with 3 more tie wraps just to dress it up. So that looks a lot better already. Alright, so one last look. That's what I have now. Pretty soon I'm going to have the other part of that plug all wire loomed in. Everything will be all nice and tidied up. Guys, remember, there's power on this unless you disconnect your battery. So I would definitely not go cutting any of these all at the same time. I'd cut them individually, unless you want to go and blow circuits or even make marks on your tools. So just take your time. Just make sure you just cut them one at a time. This is the energized portion. It'd be nice to get rid of this and just have one plug. So let's get to work. Alright, this is the first one. Don't ask me why, but the female side is a heck of a lot easier than the male side. So that's one down, 4 more to go, then we'll get the plug on there. Alright, because these two touched and it kept turning on my solenoid here to go ahead and open up the door. I thought I'd go ahead and insert those and just get them out of the way. So they're in there, and I can see the female portion. Again, I'll probably hit these when I'm done with a little bit more of the dielectric grease. But this too, and it was easy to kind of push them in. You kind of heard a click. So, and then you tug on the wire a little bit versus the plug, and that tells you that they're seated. So 3 more of these, and this plug is done, and I can get this one fixed up with some wire loom and basically put everything back together. I just need to dress this up with some wire loom. Again, I've got the same type of tie wrap here as I did right about in this area underneath this. Altogether, dielectric grease helps to get the pins seated and aligned, and everything works fine. I went ahead and tested it. I'll test it one more time before I put this up, and it seems to be good. Now it's just time to get some wire loom on here, get it all dressed up. So that's basically what we end up with. To the vapor barrier here, and we have some wire loom. We have one plug. Quick disconnect for whenever I take this off to disconnect the 2 switches. That's it, guys. And I'm not going to say it's easy. There's different kits out there. I don't know if I'd ever get this one again, but there are quite a few. Once it's together, it really is nice compared to what I had, and that way it makes taking this on and off a heck of a lot easier. Okay, so that's it, all wrapped up. So for my vehicle, the way I rigged it up with that solenoid that actually pulls on the cable for the handle and the door release, that's this one right here. So if you're camping and you're inside, you need to get out, you just hit that and out you go. Some guys say, well, what if you lose power, you can't get out? Well, duh, then you just crawl up and go out one of those doors. It's not the end of the world. It's better than, I don't know, there's a coat hanger one, there's another one with a rod, there's one down here, some guy has a 3D printer and has that. There's another one where you just reach inside. I just went with this just to be different. The one I really like is this one here. I can unlock the doors, lock the doors, or hold, and of course it pops the window open, which is really nice. Again, all this does is parallel the wires that's in the key portion right here. And this is all on other videos on my site, in case you guys see and go, hey, what's that? How do I do that? Well, just take a look at my site. I've got over 65 videos, and I talk about these here. Today was just cleaning it up and putting in an automotive style disconnect for the 5 wires that I have on this, just to dress it up and make it look nicer. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future content.